The Property Pod. Welcome to The Property Pod with Moneyweb. The property sector is an ever-changing sector, and in this podcast series, your host, Suren Naidu, chats to movers and shakers in the property industry.
Hi there, and welcome to The Property Pod, South Africa's premier property investor podcast. My name is Suren Naidu, and on this weekly podcast show, we gain insider insights from leading executives, analysts, developers and entrepreneurs in South Africa's property industry. Soweto is South Africa's biggest township and is a historic part of the country, considering our apartheid past. Today, it's a bigger neighborhood and bustling with activity, even more so on the property front. It's also a popular tourist area in the Joburg metro, with famous landmarks such as Kliptown, where the Freedom Charter was drawn up, the Hector Peterson Memorial, and Vilakazi Street, which once was home to late President Nelson Mandela, as well as Bishop Desmond Tutu, both of whom were Nobel Peace Prize winners. According to real estate agency SEEF Property Group, Soweto is one of the most dynamic property markets in the country and booming in the Gauteng market. To share more insight into this and what's happening in Soweto's residential property market, we have Kosi Sibia on the podcast. Kosi is one of the licensees of SEEF Soweto branch, together with her business partner Phindi Mbashlele. Kosi, a very warm welcome to the Property Pod.
Thank you very much.
According to Lightstone, Soweto has some 37 suburbs which are home to around 168,000 properties, more than double compared to 1994. That's a significant amount of growth. What's behind this continued growth in Soweto, would you say, Kosi?
Yes, Soren. That is because Soweto remains popular. Many buyers have family here. It is also a good investment. Lightstone shows property values have grown notably faster compared to the rest of Johannesburg.
Can you please give us some insight into the residential property market and activity over the past year?
Yeah, although buyers are struggling due to the higher interest rate, Lightstone shows that well over 2,000 properties transaction worth over 1.1 billion have been recorded for Soweto over the last year. Soweto is a great place for affordability and first-time home buyers who can later sell or rent it out, buy something bigger, or move to the better suburb.
What are some of the other trends that you have noticed as a franchisee of SEEF Soweto in that market?
As I said earlier, higher interest rate is making it tougher for buyers. Then they end up renting instead of buying. But those who can afford, it's a good time to buy now.
It's interesting you say that, so it's a bit of a rental market at the moment in Soweto, would you say?
Yes, because even now at our office we are sitting on 108, close to 205, the property that we are managing as rental.
But it is quite interesting, despite the higher interest rates, that, there's been sales or transactions worth over R1 billion in Soweto alone. What are some of the prices achieved in that period, would you say?
The prices that are mostly is 1.2 lower, but those one who are affordable is from 500 to 950. So we do have buyers who qualify for those amount. So if then is more than a mil, where we have problem that buyers don't qualify.
If the market is still doing relatively well compared to Johannesburg and even South Africa, as you mentioned, in this high interest environment, what are your expectations when rates start to come down later this year, hopefully, and into 2025?
To be honest with you, the market will be booming because remember, those clients who are renting now, they can't afford, but now they will qualify to buy when the interest rate go down in next year. So the market will be booming.
Before you go, Kosi, do you want to share a little bit about yourself and your business partner, Phindi, who have the licensees of the SEEF Soweto? How long have you been in the property game?
Oh, Suren, to be here in this industry is 20 years now. But in 2005, I joined Property Reality, and then I joined other company, but SIF was not there on that time on my mind. Then I work under Reality. Then we joined under company. It was 2007. Then here in SIF, now I'm almost 14 years in SIF. But 10 years back, I was working as a real estate agent. Then in 2019, where we decided to be a licensee because I didn't want to change to another brand because SIF is a well-known company, which is working for me, is a good brand. Since I've been there for 14 years, other clients, they know me, Kosi SIF. They don't even mention my surname sometimes. They say Kosi, that's working for SIF, So they say Kosi SIF. So I'm happy to be in this well-known brand.
So you are entrepreneur now, not an estate agent. How would you say is it being a woman in the industry? Because this is the different side of the industry, so it's a lot more interactive. Do you have some tips for other entrepreneurs that would want to get into becoming a real estate agent or licensee of their own branch one day?
Yeah, you know what? I normally tell other agents because I know before I come to be a licensee, other agent, they told me, Kosi, you've been all over, you are working so hard. So all our principals, they train us with your name. So I told them that, to be in this industry, you need to be disciplined. You need to be honest to your client and give them the good service so you can get far. So as I'm in now, I'm not now anymore dropping any droppers because, when you're an agent, you need to do door to door. So now I'm working on referral. Why? Because I'm giving my client good service.
And before you go, how big is the business? It's you and your partner, but how many employees do you have?
We have 8 employees. And my partner, who is Pindile, I'm happy to have her because we support each other. Also a good worker. So we are doing very well so far.
All the best with your business. Kosi, thank you so much for your time. That was Kosi Sibia, a licensee of SIF Soweto branch.
Thanks for listening to the Moneyweb Property Pod with Suren Naidu. To listen to more episodes, go to moneyweb.co.za or the Moneyweb app and follow Moneyweb News for daily updates. Follow Suren on Twitter @Suren Naidu for more of his property industry content and other business stories. The Property Pod.